Hey, it's Mark Linear with your video thought for the day. Okay, this week I'm talking about women in the Bible. And I hope you got mine yesterday. I started out with Ruth. She's one of my favorite characters. And if not, then you can link and go find it. It's on YouTube or wherever. Today, I want to talk about Rahab. Now, Rahab makes her appearance in the pages of the Old Testament because she's the woman, excuse the airplane flying overhead, she's the woman who hides several of the spies of Israel when they're spying out the land before they go conquering. She's in Jericho. She has an interesting job. She is a zanah in the Hebrew. So what's a zanah? It's a prostitute. She is she fornicates for a living, I guess is the way to say it. And that's not something that's like real godly in terms of its characteristics and traits. But she knows that Jehovah God, that Yahweh, the God of Moses and Israel, has delivered Israel from all of these different things, including Pharaoh, all these different armies and everything else, and that the promised land is going to be theirs for the taking. Now, they're going to cross the Rift Valley there in the Jordan, and the first oasis they come to is the Jericho oasis. So she knows that that the tip of the spear of the Israeli army is coming to Jericho. And she says to the spies, I will hide you. I will get you safely out of Jericho, but I need you to please promise me safety when y'all take it, because I know God's going to deliver Jericho into your hands. And they said, okay, but only if you will tie a red cord to your window so that we know that's your house. And you got to stay in your house and have anybody you want saved with you in your house. She says, okay. Now, her house is on the city walls. And so she lets them out. First, she hides them when the king, the king of Jericho, it's the king of a town. But they didn't call them mayors. It's just the ruler. When the head honcho of Jericho finds that they've been to the prostitute's house, he figures that they're there, but she hides them from him. She lets them down ultimately out of her window. They get to safety and they go back and they spare her life. She, march around Jericho, Jericho's walls fall. She and everyone that's with her are saved. Now that's a really cool story, but I want to take it a step further. Did you know she appears 3 times in the New Testament? She first appears in Matthew chapter 1, 5. Chapter 1, verse 5. Matthew is giving the genealogy of Jesus. And he plugs her in. Now, Matthew's genealogy is all skewed because he's getting 14 generations and he's got all these reasons for doing it. And he's got ultimately her as the grandmother, I guess, of Boaz. You can't chart his genealogy in that way. But what's significant is Rahab the harlot, the pagan harlot, who's proselytized and converts to Judaism or Israel's Hebrewism. She is in the lineage of Jesus. Now, go to the second reference. The second reference is found in the book of Hebrews in the 11th chapter and the 31st verse. And this is a chapter where all these people of faith are being listed. Rahab the harlot is listed as a woman of faith that we should follow and emulate and be inspired by. And then you've got James. James talks about 2 examples of people who were justified by actions they did. One is Father Abraham. The other's Rahab the harlot. So what does this tell me in my video thought for the day? This tells me that regardless of what you've done for a living, regardless of how you've lived your life, regardless of where you are, you turn your heart to God. You devote yourself to His mission, and He can use you in ways you would never, ever dream. And if you haven't been living as a harlot, He still does that. So the bottom line is, let's learn from this woman of faith. Let's trust God, and let's live in ways that put His mission, number 1, in our focus. More women tomorrow, but that's your video thought for the day.